Warning, warning. This is not a test.
Hello my friends and welcome back. Kamen Rider Saber episode 7 came out this week, so let's talk about it. Tassel obviously opens the episode still floating around on his umbrella. He talks about how Toma obtained the King of Arthur Wonder Ride book and also got this very large blank Wonder Ride book. We then go back in with Caliber fighting Espada in the alternate dimension. Caliber gets Espada down on the ground, but instead of killing him goes, he got King of Arthur, I don't care anymore, and he leaves. Once again, this is a terrible decision. Why would you do that? He's your enemy. Beat him up. Do something. Bad plan. He's gonna beat you eventually. But Toma then runs in to get Kento out of there, and he's really distant because he doesn't know if he's actually worthy of Arthur's power, because the King of Arthur Wonder Ride book is far more powerful than any other Wonder Ride book. We then go back to the Sword of Logos HQ where Rintaro, Ren, and Ryo return, and Mai tags along with them. Sophia's a little bit angry about it at first, but then she's like, if she's a friend of Saber, she's cool, why not? Storius is disappointed in Caliber that Saber got the King of Arthur Wonder Ride book instead of him. Obviously, they're all villains, they want the powers for themselves. Makes sense. The unknown book is unable to be examined for whatever reasons. We'll probably make it into a group power-up later. That's my guess, at least. But everybody's really supportive of Toma, and I like that. Like, we don't have any really off writers. I mean, Ren and aka Kenzan is a little off-putting and isn't the most friendly, but he is still a part of the team and he's very supportive in his own way. We find out that only one of the locations that was stolen last time actually got returned from Bubble World, and so they go out and we find out that the Medusa Megiddo is back. Or actually, there's 3 of them, based on the story of the 3 Medusa sisters from Greek mythology. Makes sense. We get pretty much all 5 main heroic riders mentioning Caliber's there, obviously, and with one of the 2 Medusas, the other one shows up later in the fight. And one of them is about to turn Toma into stone, as Medusas do, but Ryo dehensions and just runs up, grabs the Medusa Megiddo's face, and makes it stare at him and turn him to stone and go, "You better promise me this is gonna work, kid." And he gets turned to stone. And that's just, it's a great character moment. I really enjoy it. It makes It makes Toma feel even worse about, is he really worthy? It builds more into Ryo's fatherly character. It's just a really good moment overall. We then get we have to have Toma telling Sora, Ryo's kid, that Ryo got turned to stone, and that's almost entirely heartbreaking. But Sora pretty quickly bounces back and is just like, promise me that you're gonna save Ryo. And so, in response, Toma starts to write a story. And this whole back half of the episode is phenomenal. I love this whole thing. Storius sends out Legiel with the Medusa Megiddo to one of the 2 locations, while the other Medusa Megiddo's in the other one. Sure, so we've got 2 locations, and the other Sword of Logos guys are all just like, nah, we're gonna split up and go to the 2 different locations. And Toma bursts in and goes, no, we're all gonna go to 1, and we're gonna beat them together, because I wrote a story, and it's the story of how we win. So we go there, and it's the 4 of them, and they see Ryo's stone body, and they've got Legio and one of the 2 Medusas there. and Caliber shows up pretty quickly, and the other one shows up pretty quickly. Because the plan was to get them all in one place. We then get a pretty short but still effective-ish fight with Espada and Kenzan against Caliber, Blade's Fantastic Lion against Legiel, and Saber against both Medusas. And this is where we find the true power of King of Arthur. Because Arthurian literature makes this pretty clear, at least in a couple interpretations. The true power of Arthur is the Round Table. He's a great king. He is the most noble, best king in all of history, according to the stories. However, he would not be nearly as effective if he did not have the Round Table. And I love that we set this up. Toma is the leader of the group. He's in charge. We pretty much get his own Round Table out of this, because we get just the other sort of logos. I'm not going to try and figure out who's who this episode. I might talk more about who is who in a later episode if we actually get a bit more well-defined interpretations. Only real thing that I'll say is that probably Ren is Kay, because Kay can be a standoffish brute that tries to fight Arthur on several occasions, and that seems pretty close to Ren. We find out that the giant sword that, unlocking the true power of King of Arthur, Toma gets the regular sized sword that pairs up, but also a giant version that, floats above him, and that giant thing is a transformer. And the transformer turns into a robot that picks up Toma and just uses Toma as a sword to defeat the giant Medusa Megiddo, because after they defeated the second one, the third one grew giant in size for plot reasons. Rio is saved, and when they all return back to the Sword of Logos HQ, he's just like, I did it! I'm the hero! That's right, Sora, I saved the day, and it was my plan too. And everyone's just like, no, it wasn't! It wasn't your plan! Get off my lawn! But we close out with them all just like, yeah, we're gonna be a great team. And Sophia's just like, yeah, they're a great team. And Daishinji goes, yes, great teamwork. And he looks down and he's got his Wonder Ride book. Because, spoilers if you don't like watching the next time previews, he's going to come back and he's going to become a writer next episode as Kamen Rider Slash, I think? Yeah, no, Kamen Rider Slash, because that's his code name. Right. Tassel then gives us the outro where he crashes through the roof of his own house and back into his chair, and he says some vaguely threatening villain dialogue, because he's definitely the final villain. Probably. Don't know entirely yet, but I'm pretty confident in that theory. Overall, this was a very odd episode. There's a lot of stuff going on. Everything about the ideals of Arthur and they're becoming the Knights of the Round Table, and everything regarding the character focus of the episode is really great. Everything about the actual implementation of Arthurian mythos into the season is writer stuff. I'm much more iffy about, because one, mainly because I wanted King of Arthur or a Knights of the Round Table book to be the final power-up where they all get a power-up together. And maybe they still will. That's probably what the big book is a Round Table book. But for now, I'm disappointed that Arthur got relegated to the giant mech form for the season. Because that's just been a weird continuation from the past, for most of the second phase of Heisei into now, where they have to have some big CGI thing. Really, the first form out of it was Suika Arms and Gaim, but then we got stuff. We got the Time Machines and Geo, we got Breaking Mammoth last year. It's just, they seem to keep coming back, but they don't really serve a great purpose, and that just, I wish we had gotten a better looking form out of King Arthur, such a well-known and iconic series of mythology and iconography in and of itself. But who knows, maybe we'll see more later down the line. Overall, this episode was perfectly fine. I'm interested to see where we go from here, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Take care, my friends.